The new roommate Ethan was tired of being broke. The rent on his small apartment in Orbital Station 9 was too high. He worked long hours fixing broken machines, but it was never enough. One evening, while sipping cheap coffee, he opened his laptop and typed, "Roommate needed, cheap rent, must be quiet." The next day, he got a reply. The name on the message was Zira, no last name. She wrote in strange but correct English. She said she could pay rent in full, in cash, and she was looking for a place right now. Ethan was curious but also desperate. They agreed to meet. The same night, when Zira arrived, Ethan's first thought was, she doesn't look normal. She was tall, with silver blue hair, glowing yellow eyes, and skin that seemed to shimmer in low light. She wore a long black coat, even though the station was warm. "You must be Ethan," she said. Voice calm and soft. "May I look around?" Ethan nodded, trying not to stare. As she walked through the apartment, he noticed something else. She didn't blink much. She moved with quiet grace, like a cat. Her fingers were long and thin, and her backpack looked too advanced for a normal traveler. "You're not from around here, are you?" Ethan asked. "No," she said simply, "but I have legal status. I can show you the papers." And she did. Real documents, a universal ID chip, even a work permit. She paid the rent on the spot. Ethan's broke self couldn't say no. "Welcome to the apartment," he said, shaking her cold hand. That night, Ethan tried to sleep, but strange sounds came from Zira's room, soft humming, electric pulses, and whispers that seemed to echo through the walls. He got up to check but stopped near her door. Blue light was coming from under it. The air felt warmer. A low, steady hum filled the hallway. He knocked. "Hey, everything okay in there?" The door opened slowly. Zira stood there, eyes glowing brighter than before. Her skin was shining. She looked different. Double quotes. "I think it's starting," she said. Ethan blinked. "What's starting?" She smiled. "Just a little, my heat." Before Ethan could ask more, she shut the door. He stood there, confused and slightly afraid. What the hell does that mean? The next morning, Ethan woke up sweating. The room felt like a sauna. His bed sheets were wet with heat and humidity. "Zira?" he called out, walking to the kitchen. She was already there, sitting at the table, eating something green and steaming. Double quotes. "Good morning, Ethan," she said like nothing was wrong. "It's hot as hell in here," he said, wiping his face. "Is something broken?" "No," she replied. "It's me. My body is affecting the temperature." "Why?" Zira put down her spoon and looked at him seriously. "I'm an Arvanian. My species goes through a cycle called heat. It happens once every 6 years. During this time, we release energy, emotions, and signals. It's a biological process. My kind cannot stop it." Ethan stared. "You're telling me you're an alien heat? And now my apartment is turning into an oven?" "Yes," she said calmly, "but it's only the beginning." Ethan laughed, not because it was funny, but because it was too weird. "I should have asked more questions before letting you move in." "Yes," she agreed, "but you didn't." The microwave suddenly sparked, lights flickered. The plant near the window started glowing faintly. "You're doing that?" Ethan asked. "Partly. Heat amplifies our presence. The apartment will adjust in time. Your body too." "My body." Zira stood and walked closer. The air around her shimmered. She smelled like cinnamon and something sweet but strange. She looked at him closely. "You're strong for a human," she said. "You might survive this just fine." "Survive?" She touched his forehead with 2 fingers. Warmth spread through his head like hot tea. "You should rest," she said. "Your brain is already working harder to understand me. Don't worry. I won't claim you without your permission." "Claim? What do you mean by?" Before he could finish, she turned and walked back to her room, her coat floating behind her like smoke. The door closed. The lights stopped flickering. Silence returned. Ethan stood in the middle of the kitchen, heart pounding. "What did I just let into my home?" The heat begins. Ethan didn't sleep well that night. The air in the apartment felt thick and heavy, like it was pressing against his skin. His dreams were strange flashes of stars, glowing forests, and a voice whispering his name in a language he didn't understand. When he woke up, his skin was damp with sweat. The apartment was hot to hot. He checked the thermostat. It was turned off, yet the temperature was climbing. He stepped into the hallway, and everything looked different. The walls had changed color slightly. They had a soft, violet tint, and there were small glowing symbols near the ceiling, symbols he knew hadn't been there yesterday. "Zira," he called, voice unsure. No answer. He walked to the kitchen. It was empty, but the table had changed. It wasn't made of wood anymore. It had become a smooth, metallic surface, with pulsing veins of light running through it. Ethan blinked, rubbed his eyes. Was he hallucinating? He turned around and there she was. Zira stood silently, watching him from the hallway. Her appearance had changed again. Her hair floated slightly, like it was underwater. Her skin had patterns, now faint, glowing lines that moved slowly. Her eyes were even brighter, and when she spoke, her voice echoed faintly. As if two people were speaking at once. You're adjusting faster than I expected, she said. Ethan took a step back. What the hell is happening here? My presence is bonding with the environment. Your home is becoming compatible with my cycle. Compatible? He snapped. This is my apartment. And now it looks like an alien cave. Zira tilted her head, calm and unreadable. This space belongs to both of us now. The contract says shared territory. I am simply improving it. Improving? You turned my sofa into a glowing rock. It's more comfortable now, she said, almost amused. Ethan ran his fingers through his messy hair. Okay. Looks, I don't care what kind of alien biology you have going on. I didn't sign up for this. I need to report this to the station authority. You're breaking about 20 laws. Zira's smile vanished. Her eyes dimmed slightly. If you report me, she said softly, they will send me back. Not to my home but to a breeding vault. I ran from that. They'll lock me in a room with others like me and force me to bond with someone I don't choose. Ethan froze. I didn't know. You weren't supposed to, she said. I only needed a place to stay. I didn't expect to enter heat this early. But now it has started and it cannot be stopped. The silence between them grew heavy. Why me? Ethan asked finally. Why did you choose me as your roommate? Zira looked at him, and for the first time, her expression softened. She walked closer, her voice quieter now. Because you didn't ask questions. You were desperate, honest, and kind, and because, the moment I saw you, my instincts reacted. Ethan swallowed. What kind of instincts? The kind that choose. The kind that bind. He backed away slightly. Look, I'm just a guy trying to pay rent. I can't get involved in some alien mating drama. She didn't move closer. I'm not asking you to mate, not yet. The process takes time. We adapt to each other slowly, but you should know your body has already started changing. Ethan's heart skipped. What do you mean? You had dreams last night, didn't you? He didn't answer. Your brain is sensing with my signals. Your cells are responding to my pheromones. Your blood pressure has changed. You're already merging. Ethan's hands trembled. He didn't feel sick. In fact, he felt alert, sharp. Like he was thinking faster. And that scared him more than anything. I'm not ready for this. He whispered. You don't have to be ready. Just stay. Let the bond settle. Then you can choose. Suddenly, there was a sharp knock on the front door. 3 knocks, loud, metallic. Ethan and Zira both turned. Are you expecting someone? He asked. Double quotes. No. Double quotes. Ethan walked slowly to the door. He peeked through the small screen. A figure stood outside, tall, wrapped in a cloak, face hidden. And yet, something about it made Ethan feel cold. Who is it? He asked through the door. A voice replied, deep and calm. I'm here for the Arvanian female. She is in cycle. She is not registered. She has no protector. She must be taken. Zira's face went pale. Don't open that door, she whispered. Ethan stepped back. Who is that? Another Arvanian, a male. He's here to claim me. Can he do that? Not if you stop him. Ethan's breath caught. What? If you open the door, he enters. If you stop him, you become my chosen. The knocking came again, louder, angry. Ethan stared at the door, heart racing. One choice. Open the door. Or stop the stranger. The Clamathan stood frozen, staring at the door. The knocking had stopped, silence returned. But it wasn't peaceful, it was heavy, thick, full of tension. Behind him, Zira was standing perfectly still, her glowing eyes fixed on the entrance. He won't wait long, she said quietly. They never do. Ethan turned to her. What does he want? Exactly, me, she replied. I'm unbound, I'm in heat. To him, that means I can be claimed, and if no one challenges him, he has the right. Ethan tried to understand. Claimed like property? No, more like bonded, permanently. Once an Arvanian enters a bond, it's for life, even if they don't love, even if it's forced, and you don't get a say. I do. But only if I already have a bond in progress. Otherwise, he can force it. Ethan swallowed hard. So if I tell him to leave, that makes me your bond only. For now, a temporary claim. But it will be enough to make him go away. Arvanian law respects choice if a bond has begun. And if I don't, Zira's voice was soft, he will enter, he will begin the claiming. And once it starts, it's hard to stop. Another knock, louder this time. Then a voice, I sense your fear. The human is weak, you will be mine. Ethan clenched his jaw. He's real polite. Zira stepped closer. If you do this, Ethan, if you claim me, it won't just be pretending. Our bond will grow. You'll feel things, see things, change. He looked at her, really looked at the glowing skin. The otherworldly beauty, the fear behind her calm expression. She was powerful, strange, and clearly dangerous, but she was also afraid. And she was asking for help. Ethan took a breath. What do I have to do? Just speak. Tell him I've already chosen. Ethan nodded slowly. He turned to the door. Heart pounding. He opened it. The figure outside was tall, wrapped in dark robes. His face was covered, but his eyes glowed like burning coals. The heat coming off him was worse than Zira's, heavy, thick, aggressive. You are not Arvanian. The figure growled. You have no right, she chose me, Ethan said, keeping his voice steady. We've already started bonding, she's not unclaimed. The figure stepped closer, looming. You are lying, try me, Ethan replied. For a moment, silence. Then the figure stepped back, as if testing him. If this is true, he said, then the challenge must be accepted. What challenge? Ethan asked. A bond trial, 1 day, 1 test. If you prove worthy, I will leave. If you fail, she becomes mine. Before Ethan could respond, the figure turned and vanished into the hallway shadows like smoke. Ethan closed the door slowly. A trial, he asked. Zira looked pale. I didn't think he'd demand it. Bond trials are rare. Usually, the threat is enough. What does it mean? You'll face 3 tests, not physical, emotional, mental, and biological. Each one will push you. Ethan sank into a chair. Great. I'm being tested by alien mating rules now. Zira placed a hand on his shoulder. I can help you, train you, prepare you, but it will be intense. How long do I have? 24 hours, then the trial begins. Later that day, training began immediately. Zira led Ethan into the modified room. What used to be his living room was now glowing with strange tech and floating objects. First test, she said, is emotional. What kind of emotional? Arvanians sense truth. If your emotions are fake, he'll know. You must show real care. Not love but willingness to protect. I barely know you, but you chose to help. That's enough. She placed a small device on his temple. Suddenly, memories flashed hers, not his. Pain, running, cages, machines. Zira locked inside a cold metal room, other females screaming in the background. Ethan pulled back, heart racing. That's what he'll do to me, she said quietly. If you lose, okay, Ethan said. I won't lose. The next test, mind resistance. Shira sat across from him and opened a small cube. From it came a strange sound like whispers layered on top of each other. Ethan felt dizzy. This is the test of will. If your thoughts scatter, you fail. Hold one idea, keep it strong. Ethan focused on one thing. I won't let her be taken. The whispers grew louder. The room felt like it was spinning. I won't let her be taken. His nose started bleeding. I won't let her be taken. Then silence. Zira looked impressed. You passed. Final challenge, body. Shira explained the hardest part, physical bonding. Her heat would rise during the trial and his body needed to resist the pull. Stay calm. Stay grounded. If he lost control, the trial failed. How do I stay grounded? You hold this. She handed him a small stone, pulsing faintly. It's tied to my energy. It will help. But the rest is up to you. Ethan took it, hands shaking. Why are you helping me so much? He asked. Shouldn't you just leave to avoid all this? Zira looked at him, really looked. Because for the first time, someone didn't look at me like I was a weapon or a prize. You looked at me like a person. Even now, when you're scared, you stay. Ethan felt something in his chest shift. He didn't say anything. But he didn't need to. Midnight. Trial begins. The challenger returned. Standing in the center of the room. His cloak fell away. His body was strange, armored in black scales, glowing with pulsing veins. His presence made the lights flicker. Let the trial begin, he growled. First, he read Ethan's emotions. Second, he pushed thoughts into Ethan's mind, visions of fear, failure, Zira in chains. Third, Zira's heat spiked. Ethan nearly collapsed. But he held the stone. He held the thought, I won't let her be taken. The challenger paused, then stepped back. You have passed, he said, voice cold, but the bond has only begun. If you are weak, I will return. And then he vanished. Zira ran to Ethan. His face was pale, but he was still standing. You did it, she whispered. I need water, he replied. Collapsing onto the glowing couch, they both laughed, exhausted, but safe. For now. Ethan changes next morning. Ethan woke up different. Not just tired, not just sore. Different. His senses were sharper. He could hear distant sounds, machines humming to floors below, the soft humming of lights. The air smelled stronger, richer, and when he blinked, for just a second, the walls seemed to breathe. He sat up slowly. His skin tingled like it had touched static. He looked at his hands, nothing unusual. But something felt off inside him. Good, you're awake, Zira said, entering the room with a bowl of glowing liquid. Ethan stared at it. What's that? Recovery broth. You need it. Your body is adapting faster than expected. Adapting to what? Exactly, me? Ethan hesitated, but took a sip. It tasted like warm mint and something sweet, almost addictive. This isn't normal, he said. I shouldn't be able to hear the station cooling pipes. You're sensing with Arvanian frequency. You touched my memory. You passed the trial. And now, you're partially linked. Linked how? Zira sat beside him, her eyes calm, but serious. Our energy is beginning to merge. Your nervous system is learning to translate my signals. You might develop new senses, new reflexes. But there's more. Ethan raised an eyebrow. More, our bond is no longer temporary. By defending me, you've taken the role of preclaimant. Now, the system recognizes us as a pair in progress. Your apartment, your data, your DNA, everything is now logged as pending integration. Ethan set the bowl down. That sounds like tech talk for your becoming not quite human in a way. Yes, before Ethan could reply, a sharp buzz echoed from the wall. A screen lit up on its own unauthorized activation. A hologram flickered on, a representative from the Earth Alliance Housing Bureau. The message was clear: we have detected non-human habitat alterations beyond civilian limits. Identity breach detected. Human occupant Ethan Gray is under investigation. Prepare for inspection within 48 hours. They know, Ethan whispered, they know something's happening. Here, Zira stood up, face hardening. They traced the bond trial. Even though it's legal by Arvanian law, Earth doesn't fully accept interspecies merging inside civilian zones. What happens if they inspect? They'll find traces of me everywhere. Pheromones, tech, energy bleed. If they confirm a partial transformation, they'll report you for illegal hybridization. Wait, hybrid? I didn't sign up for any of that. Zira stepped closer. Serious now. Your body did, but I'm human, yes, and you still are. But human systems weren't built for this level of exposure. Your body made a choice to survive, not ask questions. Ethan turned away, angry, scared. This was supposed to be about rent, a roommate, not this. He punched the wall. It cracked. Silence. He looked at his hand. No pain, no blood. I didn't hit it that hard, he muttered. Zero walked over and placed a hand on his arm. You're not alone in this. I can help you control it, but you need to trust me. Do I even have a choice anymore? She didn't answer. Later that day, they began testing his limits. First, reflexes. Zero dropped a tool from midair. Ethan caught it without thinking. Then she dropped 2, then 5. He caught them all. Second, vision. She made symbols appear on the wall, alien glyphs, meant to be unreadable to humans. Ethan read to without knowing how. You're evolving faster than I expected, she said. Is that a good thing? It means the bond is strong, but also unstable. The more powerful you become, the more you draw attention. From who? Zira looked away. Others, not just Arvanians. There are species who harvest bonded hybrids. They believe your kind shouldn't exist. To them, you're a resource, a weapon, or worse, a threat to the order. Ethan laughed bitterly. Great, I'm on a hit list now. Suddenly, a loud crack shook the apartment. The lights flickered. Red. A voice echoed from the walls. Unauthorized breach detected. Outer hatch compromised. Zira's face went pale. They're here. Who? Not the Alliance. Something worse. Scavengers. The invasion. Lights died. Emergency glow lit the halls in dark red. The apartment shook again as something clawed at the walls from outside the station corridor. Zira grabbed Ethan's arm. Stay close. I'm not leaving my place. This is no longer your place. This is a war zone. The front wall melted inward as a metallic creature pushed through. Thin, armored, faceless, with long claws and blinking sensors, it scanned the room. Bond signature confirmed. Target, hybrid in progress. Extract. Ethan felt something click inside his head. His body tensed. He knew what the creature was before Zira said it. A collector drone designed to rip bonded pairs apart. It lunged. Ethan moved faster than he thought possible. 1 second it was charging, the next, he was behind it. He didn't remember moving, but his body reacted. He grabbed the creature's arm. It sparked, twisted, metal snapped under his grip. He tossed it across the room like paper. Zira stared. So did Ethan. What did I just do? You activated your bond state, Zira said. You're not just changing, you're awakening. Sirens screamed. More drones approached. Zira pulled open a hidden wall panel. We have to go. Go where? To the only place they can't track us. And where's that? She looked back at him, eyes glowing with purpose. The Arvanian core, deep space. Forbidden to humans, but you're no longer just human. Asterisk. The rival escape pod hummed as it cut through space. Small, fast, hidden. Ethan sat in silence, staring at the endless black outside the window. Stars blinked like distant warnings behind him. Earth was just a pale blue. Now far, quiet, unreachable. Zira sat across from him, fingers flying over the control panel. Her face was calm, but her eyes were sharp-focused, alert. How far are we going? Ethan asked. Arvanian border space, deep neutral zone, no Earth laws, no Alliance monitoring. And they won't follow us. They'll try, but the bond signature is changing. Your transformation is scrambling the signal. We have time, not much but enough. Ethan looked at his hands. They looked the same, but didn't feel the same. His skin healed too fast. He no longer felt cold. His thoughts were clear, almost too clear. He could sense Zira's presence. Like a warm thread in the air, he closed his eyes, tried to breathe normally. But there was no normal anymore. Hours later, a Revolve pod dropped out of hyperspace near a giant floating structure, part space station, part city, part living organism. It pulsed slowly, as if breathing. What is this place? Ethan whispered. Arkish, the neutral cradle. Home of exiles, outlaws, and those like us, bonded but not accepted. A ship scanned them as they approached. Zira sent a pulse of code. Ancient hidden. The doors opened. Inside, the station was strange. Gravity shifted with emotion. Walls shimmered with memory. Beings from dozens of species walked, floated, or crawled through halls lit by living lights. Everyone stared at Ethan. Some with curiosity, some with fear. Zira pulled her hood over her head. Stay close. And don't show your strength unless absolutely necessary. Why? Because here, power makes you pray. The meeting they reached a high chamber with walls of black crystal. Inside waited a tall alien with deep blue skin and eyes like polished glass. This is Soren, Zira said. Former council elder, now neutral guide. Soren nodded slowly. You bring a human hybrid here. Zira, risky but interesting. We need protection, Zira said. He defended me, claimed me. He's changing faster than expected. Collectors are hunting us. Soren stepped closer to Ethan. And you? Human, are you willing to protect her beyond your planet, beyond your kind? Ethan met his gaze. I already did, and I'll keep doing it. Soren smiled faintly. Good. Because your rival is already here. Rival? Ethan said. The doors opened, and there he was. The Arvanian male from before, cloaked in silver armor now, stronger. His energy pulsed like fire. I knew they would come here, he said coldly. She has no right to merge with a human, and he has no right to bear our strength. You lost the trial, Ethan said, stepping forward. I accepted the trial, the rival said. But the bond wasn't finished, and now he is breaking laws older than stars. He must be tested again by the core. Soren looked at Zira. He has invoked the right of pure challenge. It must be answered. No, Zira said. He's not ready. I accept, Ethan said. Zira turned, shocked. Ethan, I'm done running. If I want to protect you and myself, I need to know how far this goes. Soren nodded. So be it. The right, pure challenge. The arena was not a place, it was a mindscape. Soren connected both Ethan and his rival to a neural field created by the core. Here, thoughts became matter, fears became real, emotions became weapons. Ethan stood inside a shifting storm. The rival appeared across from him, glowing with pure Arvanian energy. You shouldn't exist, the rival growled. Your kind is weak, your love is cheap, your courage is false, and yet I'm still standing, Ethan replied. The rival attacked first. Lightning made of memory slammed into Ethan. Visions of loss, fear, guilt. But Ethan stood firm. His mind created shields, images of Zira smiling, their quiet talks. The night he chose to protect her, he pushed forward. He hit the rival with a wave of hope, pure, painful, unstoppable. The rival stumbled. You feel too much, he snarled. That makes you vulnerable. No, Ethan said. That makes me human. With a final strike, Ethan forced the storm to collapse. The mindscape cracked. The rival vanished from the vision, defeated. Awakening when Ethan opened his eyes, he was back in the crystal chamber. Soren stood over him, amazed. No human has ever passed the pure challenge. Zira was by his side, eyes wide. What did you do in there? She asked. Ethan looked down at his hands. They glowed faintly now. The light wasn't Zira's, it was his. Something new. I didn't fight him with strength, Ethan said. I fought with connection, with emotion. Soren nodded. Then you are no longer just a hybrid. You are something new. Suddenly, alarms rang through the station. Core breach detected. Incoming signal, high danger. Collectors? No, not collectors. Something bigger. Zira turned to Ethan, her voice tight. They found us again, but this time they're bringing something we've never faced before. Ethan stood up slowly, energy flowing through him. Then we stop running, he said. We make a stand. The truth about Zira Siren screamed through the Arvanian core station, being scattered. Lights pulsed red. The station's energy began to flicker, and a voice echoed from the deep systems. Broken, panicked. Warning, Class 7 anomaly approaching. Evacuation recommended. Unidentified entity detected. Ethan stood at the center of the panic. Calm, focused, he was glowing. Not in fear, not in anger. In control. They're coming for us, he said. Eyes fixed on the shifting space outside the dome windows. But this doesn't feel like collectors. Because it's not, Zira said, her voice quiet, distant. He turned. Something in her had changed, her usual fire. Her quiet strength, it was fading. In its place was hesitation, fear, guilt. What is it? Ethan asked. Zira looked down. You weren't supposed to change so quickly. What are you talking about? Your body, your bond. It's adapting faster than it should, even. For someone like you, Ethan stepped closer. Someone like me, Zira hesitated. Then, you're not the first human to bond with an Arvanian. The room went still. Ethan blinked. What? Others have tried. Over 100 years of secret contact, but it always failed. The bond would break. The human would lose control, they would become unstable, or worse, so why am I still here? Zira looked him in the eyes. Because you're different. Because I didn't tell you the full truth. The secret of the heat sat down slowly. Like the truth itself was too heavy. My heat isn't just biological, it's political. Ethan frowned. What do you mean? The Arvanian cycle was designed and engineered by our old rulers. They turned our natural bonds into tools, weapons. Our heat isn't just attraction, it's a test. A test for what? For creating hybrids. For finding those rare matches, beings who can survive a bond and unlock something more. Ethan stared at her. So this whole thing was what? Some experiment, not by me, she said quickly. I didn't want this. I ran away from the program. I wanted to live free. To choose my own bond, not be part of their plan, but you knew this could happen. Zira looked away. I did. Ethan felt cold, and you didn't tell me. Because if I did, you would have never let me in. A long silence. Then Ethan said. So, what am I now? Part human, part alien, or just a lab rat? With glowing hands, you're more than that, Zira said, standing. You're the first one to survive full stage 3 merging. That makes you something new, something dangerous, and the entity outside. She looked up. Her face pale. It's not here to destroy you, it's here to collect you, to complete the process. Rival of the Entitide station shook violently through the dome glass. A massive black shape appeared, larger than any ship, moving like smoke and shadow. It didn't travel by engines, it bent space itself. Soren's voice echoed over the speakers. The Void Binder has arrived. This is no longer a safe zone. Repeat, all personnel evacuate immediately. Ethan stared at the shape. He felt it, in his bones, in his blood. It wasn't just a ship. It was alive, and it was calling to him. It's using my bond signal. He muttered, it's trying to pull me in. Zira grabbed his arm. You don't have to go, we can hide. We can run again. But Ethan shook his head. No, no more running. I need to face this. I need to know what they made me, Ethan. He turned to her. Calm now. If you care about me, then let me choose, the way you chose me. Zira looked at him, eyes full of pain. And nodded. The confrontation. Ethan stepped out of the station's energy shield. Space didn't feel cold. It felt familiar. The Void Binder opened before him, a swirling portal of black mist and light. Inside, a voice echoed, not with sound, but directly into his mind. You are the first, the success. The bridge, Ethan answered with thought. What are you? We are the creators of the bond code. We made the cycle, we created Zira's kind. And now, you are the final piece. Why? Because your emotions make you powerful. Your pain, your love, your anger, they are keys. When combined with Arvanian energy, they unlock the new form. Ethan stepped deeper. You wanted a weapon, we wanted a god, a different choice. But Ethan stopped. He closed his eyes. And he rejected the bond. He reached deep inside. Found the part of him that was still human, not powerful, not glowing, just real. The part that wanted choice, not programming. He burned the connection, and the void screamed. The shape began to break apart, black light exploding in waves. The stars twisted, and then silence. Ethan fell backward, unconscious. Hours later, awoke in the station's healing chamber. Zira sat beside him. You destroyed it, she said softly. No. Ethan replied, I just refused to become what it wanted. You had enough power to ascend, to rule. Ethan smiled weakly. Then I'm glad I stayed human. Zira reached out, took his hand. No glowing, no energy spike. Just touch. Real, simple. So what now? She asked. Ethan looked out the window. At space stretching forever. We rest, we recover, and maybe we help others who went through the same thing. Zira smiled. You'd make a terrible god. Yeah, Ethan said, grinning, but a pretty good roommate. *1 apartment to World Station was quiet. After the Void Binder collapsed and the threat was gone, Arkish fell into an uneasy peace. Most of the outsiders had left. Only those with nowhere else to go remained. Ethan sat by the observation deck window, staring at the stars. His body still felt strange but stable now. The glowing had faded, his heartbeat had returned to normal. But he was no longer the same person who posted an ad for a roommate a few weeks ago. He had faced gods, he had rejected power, and now he was deciding what came next. Zira entered the room quietly. She was barefoot, wearing a soft gray robe, for the first time since he'd met her. She looked peaceful, calm, maybe even happy. They've stopped scanning for us, she said. The Earth Alliance pulled their patrols. The system thinks we're gone. We are, Ethan said. Zira tilted her head. What do you mean? We're not the same people who lived in that apartment. I don't think we can just go back. Like nothing happened. So you don't want to return to Earth? Ethan sighed. I miss it, the food, the noise, my weird toaster. Zira smiled. I miss your coffee machine. But if I go back, what am I? I'm not fully human. And I'm not Arvanian either. They'll test me, study me, maybe lock me up. Zira nodded slowly. And if you stay here, I don't belong here either. He looked at her. Unless we build something new. The proposal later that night, they met with Soren in the high chamber. The old alien looked weaker now, like the fight with the void had drained more than just energy. You've come to a decision, he asked. Ethan stepped forward. We want to create a hybrid zone. Soren raised an eyebrow. Explain. Zira took over. Not a station, not a lab, a place between. Part human, part Arvanian. Open to anyone who wants peace, choice, and safety. We'd call it the new neutral, Ethan added. No rulers, just rules, no bonds by force, only freedom. Soren smiled faintly. Bold, dangerous. Impossible but not unworthy. Zira said. Soren tapped the table with his clawed fingers. I will make the call. But understand, if you build this, they will come for you again, not just collectors, politicians. Scientists, rulers, no one likes what they can't control. Ethan nodded. Then we give them something better, something worth protecting, reclaiming. The apartment. They returned. Back to Station 9. Back to the apartment where it all started. It was exactly the same, small, quiet, messy. Ethan's broken lamp still leaned to one side. Zira's old cloak hung on the wall. Even the strange alien plant by the window was still there, blooming now, glowing faintly. But when they entered, the system locked down. Alert, human biosignature. Mismatch, Arvanian presence detected, unauthorized return, contact Earth Authority in 60 seconds. They upgraded the defense protocol. Ethan muttered. Zira pulled out a small device, her bondstone. She pressed it to the wall. The system hesitated. Then accepted. The lights turned green. Welcome back. Bonded pair. The media storm within days. Word spread. Ethan Gray, human technician. Bonded with Zira of Arvania, survivors of the Voidbinder. Creators of the first hybrid bond sanctuary. News feeds exploded. Alien girlfriend saves human life. Man turns part alien, still pays rent. Earth's first interspecies roommates go viral. Offers came. Governments wanted interviews. Research labs offered money. Cults sent messages calling Ethan the chosen one of light. Ethan ignored them all. He and Zira had one goal: finish the transformation of their apartment into a legal hybrid safe zone. They added biometric doors, translation walls, emotional dampeners. The kitchen could now make both human pasta and Arvanian fire soup. It wasn't much, but it was home. The final choice. Weeks later, a representative from the Unified Species Council arrived, a tall, golden-skinned alien named Kale. He entered the apartment, looked around, then said, "This place is too small for what you've started." Ethan offered him a chair. "It's not about size." "No," Kale agreed. "It's about message." He handed Ethan a data crystal. "This is an invitation. Join the council. Speak for all future bonds. Human and Arvanian alike." Zira frowned. "What's the catch?" Kale smiled. "You'll be watched. Tested, trusted by few." Ethan took the crystal, turned it in his hand. Then smiled. "Sounds familiar." Epilogue. 2 worlds. 1 home. Months passed. The apartment became the heart of a movement. People, human, alien, hybrid, came to visit. Some stayed, some just came for Zira's cooking. Others came to ask Ethan questions like, what does it feel like to change? How do you stay in control? How do you fall in love with someone not from your world? Ethan's answers were always simple. Slowly, you don't fight it, you trust it, 1 cup of coffee at a time. The world didn't become perfect, but a new one began. 1 room, 2 beings. 1 bond. Not forced. Not chosen by code, but chosen by heart. Night. The stars outside the window shimmer. Zira leans against the wall, sipping blue tea. Ethan lies on the couch, half asleep. "You okay?" she asks. "Just thinking." He mumbles. "About what?" "The ad I posted," he says. "You know, Freemate wanted quiet, respectful, no drama." Zira laughs. "You really messed that one up." Ethan grins. "Worth it." She sits beside him, leans her head on his shoulder. And together, they watch space pass by. A human. An alien. A home built from chaos, choice, and something far stranger than destiny.